What's the deal, you guys? It is your girl, Fallon Favors. Yes, back again for another episode of the Baby Mama Chronicles. Thank you so much for joining me once again. If this is your first time here, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in the room. I appreciate you joining me today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. I want to make sure you stay tapped in. Anytime I drop any new content, I want you to be engaged with us. We got a lot of stuff coming, and I'm super excited about it, okay? Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, you guys, so as usual, we're doing another real talk video. I'm gonna put it right here, real talk. My real talks are just off the cuff. I usually am always, with my notebook and my pen, my people that's been with me, since the pandemic, beginning of the pandemic, y'all already know. I always have my journal with me with all of my notes and things to share with you guys, but my real talks are literally just off the cuff conversation that I'm having with you guys, kind of shooting an ish, okay? So we're gonna be talking about the real reason why women don't wanna date men with kids, okay? A lot of women, are getting into that age, and we're talking about a certain age bracket also, I would say. My guess would be anywhere, I would say over 30, sometimes even younger, maybe like 28 and up. You know what I mean? You have women that are, wrapping up their college educations, their, certification programs, whatever other kind of, initiatives they've been taking to set up their career and, set up a foundation for themselves financially, right? Once they get to a certain point, a lot of us are looking to, partner with men, preferably Black men, a lot of us, right, ladies? Okay, even some of my, girls that's not Black, we already know what that is. A lot of us are looking to partner with men and to be able to build families. We want to start our families and stuff like that. So we start thinking about, okay, when is going to be my time? What kind of man do I want to partner with? What does he look like? What are his characteristics? When do I want to have my first child by? So we start trying to put together this timeline. Spoiler alert for any of my ladies that may be under 25 or, something like that. It is very rare, ladies, that the plan that you set out for yourself ends up coming out exactly as you have it in your mind. A lot of the time, God does have, or the universe or source or whatever you believe in, does have plot twists along the way, so even through your best efforts of trying to set up the life that you want for yourself and, having it kind of look the way that you want it to, it doesn't mean that it's always going to turn out like that. So just always bear that in mind, right? So as women are thinking about, okay, who am I going to have my baby with? Who am I, when are all of these things going to happen, right? What we begin to see is men, in our same age demographic, culture demographic, we start seeing these men have kids with all of these different women. Gone are the days where men would marry the woman prior to the woman having the baby or, in conjunction with. So as soon as you get pregnant, you're walking down the aisle at the same time because you're not going to embarrass this family, okay? It was a lot of that vibe. So long gone are those days. So men and women are establishing familial relationships with each other, whether they be accidents or intentional, before, solid commitments or marriage or anything like that, right? So a lot of the men that you may choose or may consider choosing to partner with, to have kids with, a lot of them already will have children. That's another spoiler alert for my younger ladies, okay? The older you get, the harder it's gonna be to find a man that doesn't have any children. He literally will be like a diamond in the rough, okay? That is literally one of the first questions women start asking when they start to date men, right? Right, ladies? Like, okay, oh, what do you do? Okay, that's cool. Where'd you go to school? Was that where your people from out here? Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Any kids? Any children that I should know about? Okay. And hopefully the dude does tell the truth. You a certain kind of guy if you the type to lie about, lie on your kids and lie about having kids. You're a totally different type of individual. Usually though, most men will be forthright and let you know that they do, have kids. If so, how many? Because then you have to start thinking about, a lot of them, it's not just having one kid, it's about having multiple children. It's also about the age of the children. You might, meet a man at a family gathering. It could be a family gathering or a social gathering or something like that, right? Anywhere. And you guys are, engaging in conversation, and he talks about him having a child, and he says, and you ask, oh, well, how old is your child? How old is your child? That's so sweet. Let me see a picture. Oh, he's 6 months. Girl, 6 months? Like, how can you even be thinking about engaging into a whole new relationship when your baby is not even walking yet? So these are realities on the dating scene in 2022. That's just kind of what it is. A lot of the men that are available on the dating scene, a lot of them do already have children. So this is kind of a conversation to be had amongst the men and the women. If men, you're listening and you do have kids and you do wonder why. I was talking to a girl and we seemed to be vibing and it seemed to be cool, but I told her about my son or my daughter or my, my 2 boys or whatever, and the energy kind of shifted. It kind of started to get a little weird. Of course it did. There are reasons why. And this is it. So typically, and of course I never speak in absolutes. This is my assumption. This is my, through experience, through looking at other people's situations and things like that. Like, I really feel like women have an issue or take issue with dating men with children because women don't want to have to compete with the child or the baby mama. What men don't understand is that, usually these are like package deal type of situations. I mean, it's not usually. This is kind of just what it is. It's a package deal situation. And the only reason why I say usually is because it is very rare, okay, that you have a woman that has a child with the man and the woman are not together, and that woman is so mature, that woman is so on her grown woman-ish, that she literally is like an absent party from the situation, because when the child is with the father, do what you do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Good luck to you. God bless. Let me know if he needs anything, if you need anything. Like, let's stay in communication. But I am not a part of that familial structure that you have going on over there. So whatever it is that you have over there, whatever you're building over there, I trust you. I know that you wouldn't have anybody around my child that was not safe. And, I wish you nothing but the best, because I want you to be happy, and, hopefully when you do take somebody seriously, I definitely don't have a problem coming in and meeting that person. We talking about maybe 1 to 3% of the population as far as women go in handling it that way. So that's why I said usually. But women are very territorial, right? And so when you start talking about, a woman having a baby by a man, that level of attachment, that comes with that, you know what I'm saying? Even if the woman doesn't necessarily feel like this man is the woman, this man is the, the one for her, there are still going to be thoughts in her mind, which I've talked about in previous videos. There's still going to be thoughts in her mind where she feels like, damn, I wonder, could I make this family work? None of us, even male or female, I don't think grew up thinking that the person that we had children with was not the person that we were going to be with, right? We probably swore to ourselves. That's why my younger ladies, I'm trying to tell you, a lot of the times when you're trying to make these plans of what it is that you feel like your life is going to look like, it doesn't always pan out like that, because not many of us went into life thinking that the person that we had children with was not going to be the person that we spent the rest of our life with, right? So, it kind of even takes a while for a woman to kind of really get that in her mind, right? And to accept that, make peace with that, move on, do it amicably, and, set up a healthy relationship, co-parenting relationship, henceforth, right? It takes a while. There's usually a process, and some women never get there, which is why I got this channel to help you out, okay? So when a woman is thinking about engaging with a man that already has this woman with this strong attachment to this man, double it down with the age of the child. Y'all know I always speak to the age of the child as far as, some of my videos that I've done, how to date a man with kids, or, how to get over your baby daddy. How long does it take to get over your baby? All of these different things have a bearing on like time, right? Time heals all, right? When you're talking about a child being under the age of 5, okay, under the age of 3, you talking about your child being like 1 or 2, personally, like I always say, like, to me, it's a no-go. Because you're going to have one of those very rare situations where the woman is so on her boss, grown woman-ish, that it's not a problem. But very few women fit that description, okay? So you probably are going to be dealing with a lot of hostile, immature, unwarranted, kind of energy. And a lot of women don't want to deal with that. A lot of women don't want to have to compete for time, attention, because it's very draining on a father in one of those kind of situations, because the woman understands the power that she has with being with having this child and having this connection to this man, and understanding that, I can make this very easy for you, or I can make this hell for you. Which one do you want to do? You know what I mean? And depending on the maturity and the spiritual awareness of the woman that has this child, she could be playing some really dangerous games where, okay, well, if you acting this way, or if I feel the sense that you may be drifting away from me or building something somewhere else or whatever, any kind of things like that, I'm going to start playing around, and I'm going to do it very subtly. I'm going to make it seem like, it's just very casual, but it's going to be very contemplated, very intentional behavior that, almost manipulates the man to maybe, bow to whatever it is that she wants him to do. You know what I'm saying? Girl, women don't want to deal with that. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there is a double side to the coin. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I don't blame a woman for feeling resistance, for not wanting to be in that mess, okay? And there's also a very small percentage of men too that have the cojones, okay, to set the baby mama straight. Very, 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 very rare, okay? Where a man is going to, step to his child's mother and say, you know what, this behavior is inappropriate. I don't appreciate it. The behavior that you've been exhibiting, I don't appreciate it. I'm doing the best that I can with being able to raise this child with you. And I don't feel like the, interactions that you've had with me or any people that I brought around my child, or that I've, I feel like that energy is just off. I don't appreciate it. And if we cannot get it right, if we can't, mediate, then we're going to have to go explore other options, and I don't want it to get legal. I don't want to have to involve anybody else in our business. But if we can't get it together, we're going to have to figure out something, because I can't, engage and live like that. Girl, it's probably not going to happen. So, without having the support of the father, because he's literally, to be fair, thinking about his livelihood as it pertains to actually being able to be a father to the child, like that's a lot of pressure, you know what I mean? And then again, the baby mama that may be, unevolved, or most likely unevolved. No woman is going to want to walk into that, even if the man is stellar. He could be awesome, amazing career, amazing, energy, personality, character, he's fun, he cute, he fine. Whatever the things are, he can be all of those things. But when you have that level of baggage, and I say that with no disrespect, obviously, but when you have that level of baggage, that can kind of be, it's not even, I guess it could be intimidating, but really it's kind of, it just puts you off. As a woman, you just kind of automatically know, oh my God, this is going to be an uphill battle. So a woman would really have to see herself building a life with this man, and really kind of knowing in her spirit, right? That's why it's really, really important for women to do the shadow work and the things that you always hear people talking about, to really get in touch with self. That way you can learn to trust your intuition and your gut, get that really, really centered and balanced. So when you are in certain situations, you can read things super quickly and understand whether or not that's somebody that you should be around, if that's somebody that you should be building with, or if that's somebody that's going to just be distracting you from your ultimate purpose, right? If you kind of have that spiritual, conversation happening with yourself, and you feel that way about this particular man, then you'll take what comes with him, and, you'll just have to put on, lace up your boots and, kind of get in there and, try to do the best that you can. But man, a lot of the times women just don't want to deal with it. Okay. But a lot of times women just don't want to deal with it. And then the other side to this coin is, okay, yes, again, like I said, I definitely advocate and understand that women don't want to be put in anything that's messy. I totally understand that. But there's also an element of jealousy that exists with women. When they know that a man has other children, or, things like that. A woman may take issue with that, because she feels like, I'm not going to only have to compete with the baby mama potentially, right? Because she, y'all already know. But I'm also going to have to compete for time, literal time, with this baby. Right? And while this father is probably going to be, and this is considering, and I keep saying baby, right? Because a lot of the times too, dudes will be trying to move on and date Even if their baby is only 9 months, 1 year, 18 months, 2 years old, the baby's only 2. A 2-year-old is a baby still, you know what I'm saying? So a man could be still on the dating scene with a baby at 2 trying to figure his life out. And the woman has to think about, like, damn, I'm gonna have to really compete for time with you with this baby, you know. And the father is also going to be very excited about the milestones that his child is reaching. And this is also considering too that a woman already doesn't have kids. There are situations with women where they do have kids and they still don't want to date a man with kids, okay, for these same reasons that I'm talking about. But moreover, I think that this is more of a conversation for women that don't have kids yet, but maybe dating a man that has kids already, right? Having to compete for time, especially when you don't even understand the concept of being a parent and the kind of responsibility and kind of how your life begins to, you know, then revolve around your child. If you haven't stepped into that role yourself, that can be very, very hard to understand and empathize with, right? Because there are going to be situations and times, I have a video too, the how to date a man with kids, right? Where, you know, I talk about, you know, if a man has to cancel on you because, you know, maybe you guys had a date set up or something like that. You guys are supposed to go to the movies, go to a concert, go to a show, whatever, just spend time, kick it at the house. And, you know, his baby is not feeling well. His baby mama calls him and says, hey, I already have a prior engagement. Chance is sick. I need you to, you know, pick her up because she's not feeling well and I have to do this. I can't, you know, and he has to pick up his daughter, bring her back to the house, and he's on daddy duty, you know, for the next 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? And may have to cancel on you. Women really don't want to have to compete with that. Women really are intimidated. If anything, I was saying the word intimidated before. Women are intimidated by that, okay? Because as cute and as sexy and as fine as you are, and as much as he like you, and as much as if he's a good father, you are never going to take precedence over his child. And you shouldn't. As I advocate for women that choose to not date men with children for, again, the reasons that I mentioned before, and me understanding that and advocating for that, because I do understand a lot of you too are caught in your ego when making these decisions as well. So it's not just a personal choice, you know, made with a clear state of consciousness, right? A lot of it is just kind of steeped in immature, kind of juvenile mindsets and behavior. And you're really just jealous because you don't really understand how you can steal the spotlight and, you know, be the star of the show all the time. A lot of women want to be the center of a man's focus and the center of a man's attention all the time. You know what I mean? When you have a child, it doesn't work like that. And you have to understand that. You have to understand that if you're going to date a man with kids, or don't ever date a man with kids, only date men that don't have children. But I'll warn you, even if a man doesn't have children, if a man is on his grind, his baby will then be his business. His baby will then be his other interests or other things that he has going on. You know, and you want a man that has something going on, that has something to focus on other than you, because that's going to get old. You think that that's something that you want because that's really the kind of energy that women exude a lot of the times. But from a man, it's not going to be as cute. I promise you. Like, don't even go down that road. So there's also an element of jealousy that exists too with the woman wanting to be the first one to have a baby with the man, right? Because again, we're talking about that competitive, territorial energy, and women want to be able to say, that's my baby daddy, okay? Not ours, okay? That's my baby daddy, okay? They want to be the first ones to have those special moments where it's the grandparents' first grandchild. You watch your baby take the first steps and you get to kind of share in those very intimate moments or whatever, the child's first words, their first day of school, all of those different types of things. A lot of the times, you know, the girlfriend or the wife, they may not be able to participate in those same things, especially if we're talking about the type of woman or baby mama that I was talking about, which is pretty much all of them. There are very few that can interface with their baby daddy in a way that is, you know, conducive to everybody's, you know, well-being and mental health and, you know what I mean, like comfortability. So there's a lot of moments that as the girlfriend and the wife you miss, and women are like, I want to be the one, you know, that gets to rock the baby, and those special moments and that look that he has in his eyes when he sees his baby walk for the first time and all that. They want to be the ones to experience that with the man. So if a man has already experienced that and had that attachment and has that attachment to another woman and a baby, a lot of women are going for it. A lot of women are going for it, and the reason why I say a lot of that, you know, it's kind of double-sided, because it does kind of exist from a juvenile kind of selfish place. You know what I'm saying? Because if this happened before the guy met you, it's a different situation. If he had a baby on you, we definitely know what that's like too. I'll probably do another video on that. But if this is a man that already had this situation prior to him meeting you, this is kind of just what comes with him. And I would just end on this. Like, you don't want to box yourself out of a potential opportunity to make or to build a relationship with somebody solid just because they have a kid. That kid, that relationship could change your life and you have no idea. You know, of course you want to make sure that, again, that you're staying spiritually sound and that you really are, you know, listening to those inner voices in your head, so that way you can discern whether or not this person is somebody that you should even be spending your time, if they're worth the effort. You know, all of the words being, you know, left out. But is the person really worth it? Is the person really worth going through all of these changes and all of these things and this kind of discomfort and kind of unknown territory? Because it is a lot of that. You know, you kind of have to know that up front, but make sure that the person is worth it. And if they are, don't be put off by the fact that you're not that one that was the first person to have that interaction with him. You definitely can have more kids. You definitely can have that own special bond with that man if you so choose, if he's solid enough. So just don't let that get you tripped up at the end of the day. And men, if there's a woman that does not want to date you because you do have kids, don't take it personal. Understand the dynamics of everything that I've mentioned, but also understand too that may not be the woman for you, because you are a package deal now at this point. And if a woman can't see the beauty in being able to step in and be a mother figure to a person that you created, that's probably not the woman for you, bro. Okay, you guys, so super quick. Real talks are super short and sweet. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to tap in really quickly. Ladies, I have to know, will you date a man with kids? If you will date a man with kids, is there a limit? Like, okay, well, I'm only dating one that got one, and he has to be, what are the requirements? Can it only be one kid? Do they have to be 10 and up? You know, does the baby mama have to live out of state? Like, what are the parameters? Y'all drop it in the comments and let me know. Again, like, subscribe, and share. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me once again, and I will be back really soon with another video. Peace.